Hi guys, hope you are all doing good. So we are in the fourth session. So in previous sessions we have seen what are the advantages of Java, what are the tools we use in Java, and if you are preparing for an Java based interview, what are the things you should consider, and also a first program, how we can write a Java program, how to install Java, what are the what is an IDE basically, and what are the things there will be in a basic Java program. So in this session we are going to see what are the data types, what are the variables, and a sample hacker rank program. Okay, cool. So basically, if you ask me any general languages like Hindi, English, what we call, so we have letters, that is A, B, sorry, A, B, C, D. What happened to my keyboard here? A, B. Okay. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay. So we have these letters and we have words: apple, bat, cat, okay, car, even car, dog, elephant, and we have numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, so on. And we have floating point numbers: 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and so on. Okay. Basically, how English has letters, words, numbers, and floating numbers. In Java also we have the same things. So basically in Java, if it is a single letter, if it is a single letter, we call it as character. So what is it? So if it is a single letter, we call it as character. So if it is a word or sentence or any number of lines, we call it as string. So if it is a single letter, it is a character. If it is a word or sentence, anything, it is a string. If it is a number, we call it as an integer. If it is an floating point number, we call it as float. Okay, so these are the basic data types. Okay, let us forget about the general language. Let us start with Java. So we have integer, we have character, string, for float. In integer, this is not an integer, but it represents a number. So based on the storage space, number is divided into int, short, long, and byte. So in these four data, okay, let me write this. I know I'm poor in writing. Okay, no issues. Okay, int, short, long, byte. then what we have, string, then character, then what we have, float. Okay, I think I have my caps lock on. Okay, float. So basically these all four terminologies represent number. So if you want to write some number, you should use these four data types. So if you want to write a sentence or name or something, you need to use a string. If you want to go for a single letter, you can use character. If you want to use floating point numbers, we can use float. Even floating point numbers based on the size also, this has two types. We have float and we also have double. Okay, so these two data types is for floating point numbers. Character is for a single character, string is for a sentence or words. These four are for representing numbers. And we have one more data type in Java, that is nothing but Boolean. So basically Boolean is nothing but it represents true or false. So Boolean is predefinedly uh, is predefined for true or false. Has only two what's say two declarations. Either it will be a true or either it will be a false. So there are 1 2 3 4 5. Basically there are 1 4 5 6 7 8 data types in Java. So these four represents a number, string represents a character, or string represents a word or a sentence, character represents a single line, a single word, float double represents a floating point number, Boolean is predefined for true or false. Okay, now let us go to our Eclipse and we will try some program and this. Okay, before writing before data types, one int, short, long, then byte is very small one, it should come byte, short, int, long, this way. Okay, two, character, three, string. Basically string is not a data type, string is a class, but I am including this because we use it to declare most of the sentences in string only, that's why I am including here. But string is a separate session, string is a class, because it it is saved in a string pool memory, and this is a big concept. So if you go for any interviews, definitely there will be a question on strings. Either it will be a manipulation of strings, or either it will be working on strings, or either it will be on uh, something string builder, string buffer. Lot of concepts are there in string. Okay, then we have float, then we have double, then we have Boolean. So these are the data types available in Java. So let us write a sample program here itself, then I will type in Eclipse. Okay, let me take class addition. Okay, I'm going to write a program for class addition. So I already informed you. So if you want to write any Java program, you need a class. Class is a nothing but a container which contains all the elements or uh, all the things like a beaker which contains water. So without class there is no Java. So we need to write Java for each and every we need to write class for each and every Java program. So this is nothing but add is nothing but a uh, class name. We also call it as identifier, so which we already covered in previous sessions. Just I'm recalling this. So in order to write any Java program, you should write a main method. Without main method, program won't execute, because whenever you compile a Java program, first execution will start from main method. Compiler will look for main method. So this is the syntax of the main method. Since we are passing the arguments in the form of string, I have declared string arguments. Okay. So what is the syntax of data type? How we can declare a data type? So basically, you should declare the data type in the form of data type variable name. Variable name. Okay, and semicolon represents the end of the statement. So basically, for example, I'm going to use an integer in my program, so that's why I'm using int data type, and my variable name is nothing but what we can say Armstrong number. Let me take Armstrong number as a variable. Armstrong number. So Armstrong number is nothing but a variable of type integer or number. So that's why I'm using an int data type. Okay, cool. So this is the syntax of data type. This is nothing but a declaration. Whereas if you want to initialize, okay, let me go through the topic first. Okay, so we have two types: declaration, initialization. Okay, so declaration and initialization. Okay, so declaration is nothing but just declaring a variable, just declaring a variable with respect to data type, with respect to data type. Okay, initialization is nothing but declaring the variable with a value, declaring the variable with a value. So declaration example is, so for example, I am going for a name, that is nothing but employee name. So since it is a name, what data type I should use? I should use a string. Sorry, string is not a data type. Please remember, string is a class. Please remember this, string is an class. Java, we won't call string as an data type because string is a class. See, why I am explaining string in this session, because most of the time, so there is no other way. If you have a word, if you have some sentence or anything, if you want to declare as a uh, word or sentence, we should use string. That's why I'm taking this string here. Okay, definitely in future sessions, once we cover all our basics Java concept, one session, we need a entire one session for string, because there is lots of concepts in string. So definitely we will go there. Okay, so so if we just declare it with the data type, that is called declaration. If we declare the variable with it value, then it is called initialization. Okay, so I have declared the employee name with a value, so this is called initialization. So why I'm using double quotes? All the strings in Java should be it should be initialized inside double quotes. Okay, I'm poor in writing. Okay, let us move. Let us go to our first and move. I think second program. Sorry. Okay. So I'm right clicking on the base and I'm going to the new class, my second program. Okay, so I have given the class name as my second program and I need a main method. So I am checking on this box and I don't want any abstract methods. Please leave this. I will tell you when we require this. So since I need a main method, I just checked on this box and I have clicked finish. So my second program has came here. Okay, so before going to our second program, I think I forgot to tell you how to write comments in Java. Comments are nothing but, if you want to, in your program, if you want to write some description, if you want to write anything that should not get invoked while anything that should not show in output, just in program console only you need to see, then we can use comments. So there are two ways to write comment. First way, slash star and star asterisk slash. So anything you have written inside this will be a multi-line comment. So if you want to go for a single line comment, you can just go with double slash and write anything. So I will show you how to write comments. So if you want to write a single line comment, just use double slash. I am a single line comment. Okay, if you want to go for multiple line comment, you should use single slash star and star slash. So whatever things I have written here inside this, it will be a comments. Okay, I think I have used a lot of asterisks. Okay, it's not error. Okay, this is just warning. So what I have said, comments are nothing but it won't get printed or it won't show in the output console. If I run this program, see, there is nothing because I am not doing anything, just I have commented. Okay, so that's why we use comment, guys. So let us go to the topic, data types. So basically we have data types like int, sorry, first byte, short, int, long. Okay, then we have float and we have double. then we have character, then we have boolean, then we have string. Okay, so these are the data types. Let us see how we can declare each and every data type. So we have these many data types. So for example, these are all used for numbers, right? So this is for, if you want to write any number in your program, you should declare in these data types. If you want to go for any floating point numbers, you need to declare in these data types. If you want to declare a single character, sorry, floating number, okay, single character, okay, this is predefined for true or false, is for sentence or words. Okay, so now my requirement is I need to print 10 thing at 100,000, then 10,000, then 10 lakhs, then something like this number. So these all four, these five things are numbers. You can see this is 100, this is 1000, 10,000. I think this is 10 lakhs, and this is something like 10 to the power of something. Okay, so I need to print each and every number in a data type. So basically what data type we use for numbers, that is nothing but these four: byte, short, int, long. Okay, so what is the syntax for a number? What is the syntax to declare a data type? That is nothing but variable name and data type. So this is the syntax to declare a data type. So I already said you how to initialize it. If you give some value to this, then it is initialization. Okay, now I need to initialize this 100 to some of this data type. So I b value equal to 100. Okay, so you can see here there are no red color errors. This is a warning. This is nothing but this is warning. This is not an error. Okay, so there are no errors. So 100 can be initialized in byte data type. Okay, now byte b value 1 equal to, now I need to initialize 1000. See, there is a red line here. What it says? Type mismatch, cannot convert from int to byte. So basically I already said you each and every data type, uh, these all data types are used for to declare or initialize numbers only, but it only difference between each of them is storage. So we cannot store 1000 in place of in byte. So we should use something else. So let me see in short. Let me declare it in short. Short s value equal to 1000. See, I don't have any errors. Okay, so we cannot declare 1000 in byte value because its storage is not up to the mark. But I can declare 100 in short. S value 1 equal to 100. See, even I can declare short s value equal to 10. See, okay, there should not be duplicates. Okay, short, sorry, short s value 3 equal to 0. Even I can declare 0. Same thing applies for even byte. I can declare a 0 in byte. I can declare 10 in byte. I can declare 100 in byte. So I can declare from 0 to 100 in byte, whereas 1000 I cannot declare in byte. Okay. So let me try this. So now I have declared, I have initialized 0, 10, 100, 1000 in short. Whereas now my requirement is to initialize this 10,000 in short. So I'm going to declare 4 s value and I'm going to initialize it as 10,000. Okay, so short can, it is able to initialize 10,000. What about 1 lakh? No, it won't accept 1 lakh because its storage is not predefined for this number. So now the next data type is like int. Let me try with int. Okay, I value. So int I value equal to 1 lakh. Yeah, I'm able to declare 1 lakh in int. Okay, let me increase one more zero. Yeah, there are no issues. One more, no issues. One more, we can declare it. What about one more zero? Yes, one more. No, so I think int accepts 8 zeros, 8 zeros. So after that, it says what the error is, out of range. So in range is out. It is out of range. That's why we cannot declare this number in int. So that's why we are going for one more data type, that is nothing but long. Long L value equal to, I can declare this. And so basically what happening here is compiler is unable to recognize whether it is a long value only or not. So if you mention L here, it thinks, hey, yeah, it is a long value, so we can store it in long. That's why it's not accepting the value without L. You can include any number of zeros here, and that is up to 2 power 32, I think. So you can include those things and you can write for long. Okay, so these are the data types for numbers. So next data type is float. I said if you want to initialize a floating point number, we can use float or double. So float f value equal to 0.1. Definitely it will give error. The same thing, whatever happens in long will happen in float, because float it is predefined value of float is 0.0. Even if you give 0.0, it will give error. Only it accepts only 0. If you want to initialize some other number, you should explicitly tell the compiler, hey compiler, this is a float value, don't get confused, this is not a double value. So I need to invoke 3.8 in this. Since it confuses with the double, I need to tell compiler that, hey compiler, don't get confused, This is float value. Why? By defining f here, I'm telling compiler, hey compiler, don't get confused. This is nothing but a float value. Okay. So this is how you can use a float data type, but there is no issues with double. You can use double without any this kind of situations, this kind of issues. See, we can declare like this. So if you want to go for a float type numbers, floating point numbers, you can use float or double. So next data type is character. For example, if I need to declare a single character, that is nothing but b. How I can declare it? So numbers can be initialized without any special characters except for float and long. But for character and string, if you want to initialize something as a character, you need to declare it in single quotes. For string, if you want to declare something, you need to declare initialize that in double quotes. So please be remember. So if you want to declare a initialize a character, you should mention that in single quotes. If you want to initialize a string, you need to initialize it between double quotes. Please be remember that. So if I declare this between single quotes, compiler understood this is a character value. So if you want to write a sentence, s value equal to, what we can write, I think we already written that s value, that's why it's giving error. String value. Okay, so string value. So I am a Java programmer, I can program complex Java programs. So I'm, see, I haven't done anything, but just I haven't, keep on pressing enter. That's it. So if you want to write any words, anything, any sentence, you should declare that in string value. String. See, you can see the color of each and every data type and string is in black color, because string is a class represents character strings. All string literals are implemented as instance of this class. See, even here itself it says string is a class, it's not a data type. So next, the next data type is like boolean. So unlike character or string, boolean, we can write it directly without any single code or double quotes, because it is predefined value boolean. So true. See, without any single quotes or double quotes, I can write my, I can give my value. So if you change this t to caps T, it will gives error, because the compiler doesn't know what value it is. So if you want to use boolean true or false, you should use, this is case sensitive, please remember that and use wisely. So that's it guys, we have completed the data types, that is initialization of data types. So we need to print this, so that's why I'm going to use a print statement to print variables. So this. Okay, so I have printed p value, then I'm going to print s value 3, then s value 2, s value 1, value, then I value, L value, F value, E value. Let me copy two more. Since I have C value, then string, yes, string value. Okay, I need one more for bool value. Okay, bool. Okay, so I have printed all the variables, whatever I have initialized here. So let me run this program. How to run? Just click on this button and click on OK. See, I got my output. So first is 100, B value 100, then 0, 10, 100, then 1000, then this is I think 10 lakhs. This is 10 power something, sorry, 3.8. See, I'm not getting F, and also I didn't get L. Then B for C, the char value, then double value, then sentence, that is nothing but a string, then true. So that's it, guys. This is the data types. So next topic we will go move on to variables. I think we all are already seen variables in our session. Variables. Okay, cool. Variables. What are variables? Variables are nothing but which value changes. Value changes. So the name itself represents variables, nothing but it will change or it can change. Okay, so that is variables. So there are three types of variables. Local variable, local variable, to static variable, static variable, then we have instance variable, instance variable. Okay, so there are three types of variables. Basically, based on the usage, we have three types of variables: local variable, static variable, and instance variable. So let us move on to the topic local variable. Before local variable, let me tell you a single terminology, that is nothing but re-initialization. Re-initialization. We have already seen what is declaration, what is initialization. Okay, declaration is nothing but just declaring the variable. That is, for example, I'm going to use a gravitational force as my variable. I'm going to just declare this with a data type double, because we know gravitational force is floating point number. So just declaring it will be a declaration, whereas double, that is G force, gravitational force equal to 9.8 is this. Assigning a value to that variable is called initialization. Then what is re-initialization? This is nothing but if I change some value, G force equal to 1.1, this is called re-initialization, because I am, once this sentence has been completed, I am removing this value and I'm saving 1.1 in G force variable. That's why it is called as re-initialization. Okay, I think you are all clear what is re-initialization. Let us move on to the topic local variable. Local variable. Local variable. Okay. Local variable, but which is declared inside a method. Any variable which is declared inside a method is called local variable. Okay, local variable. So in our, let us go to our previous program. In this program we have declared these many variables, right? Initialize these many variables inside a method called main method. Then these are all local variables. Okay, understood guys? Any variable which is declared inside a method called local variable. Let us create new class for my variable program. I need a main method, so I am checking this and I am clicking on finish. Okay, cool. So there are certain rules to write local variables. Okay, there are certain rules for writing local variables. First one, local I think only one rule is there. Local variable does not have default values. Default values. As a result, you should initialize it before using it. Let me type it guys, sorry, I'm forgetting to type, I'm not sure what happened. So there is only one rule for local variable. It doesn't support default values. As a result, you should initialize it before using it. Okay, cool. So before using the local variable, you should initialize it. We already know what is initialization. So before using local variable, you should initialize it. Okay, let me type int I equal to 10, int j. Okay, dot out dot println of I. I'm sorry, println. So I am printing the I, then also I am printing J. Okay. So what I did here, there are, let me take one more local variable int k. Okay. See what I did, I have initialized a local variable I and I just declared jk and I was printing I, j, and I'm going to assign a value for k and I'm going to print k. Okay. Okay. See, so what I did here, I have initialized a local variable and I have declared two more local variables, that is j and k, and I have printed two variables I and j, and I have assigned initialize local variable k in 14th step and I have using it in k. So if you see here, there is a error basically in line number 12. What's it's complaining? Local variable j may not have been initialized. What it's telling? Hey, you have declared j, but you haven't initialized j. So what? Why then? Why it is not complaining to me for k? Even I have just declared k and but it is not complaining it here. That's what. So since local variable doesn't accepts default values, before using this local variable it should be initialized so that we will not get error. For example, if I am going to comment this line, give me any error, it runs peacefully, because look, only rule for local variable is if you are declaring a local variable, it should be initialized before using it in your program. So if I initialize it here, let me j equal to 100. There are no issues. Program runs smoothly. See, 10, 100, 10. So what is the rule? Before using it in your program, it should be initialized. That is the only rule for local variable. So these are all local variables. So this is the first thing, local variable. So next variable is static variable. I'm not going to take instance variable in this session because in order to, I'm sorry guys, in order to take instance variable, I need to cover what is object. So basically instance variable requires creation of objects, that is some little advanced concept. Little means when we are going for OOPS, object oriented programming language, first concept it in is objects. So since instance variable requires the knowledge of objects, we will discuss instance variable when we have completed objects. Okay, so right now I am going to cover local variables. I'm sorry, why I'm writing, I don't know why I'm obsessed with writing. Usually I used to type in every session. This session I was writing something. Okay, variable, then static variable 3 instance variable. Okay, so there are three types of variables: local variable, static variable, and instance variable. So we already covered what is local variable. Let us go for static variable. Okay, static variable. Okay, cool. What is a static variable? Static variable is a variable which is declared outside of a method using a keyword static. Static variable is nothing but a variable which is declared outside of method with a keyword static. So for example, if I want to declare, I don't have any method here. My method starts here and ends here. This is my method body. Okay. So a static, I need to declare a static variable that is of type int. Okay. So a static variable is nothing but a variable which is declared outside of method with a keyword called static. So this is a static variable. So this is static variable. Okay, now what are the rules of the static variable? Rules. First and most important rule, it can be one. It can be used in same class or different class. Okay, so static variables can be used in same class or different class. So before seeing this rule, we can see a small concept about static variable, how to use static variable of same class and different class. Okay, cool. See, the variable static variable is in a same class. So if you want to use static variable of a same class, you can just mention the variable name. Okay, so if you want to print a static variable of same class, then you can just use the variable name only. So it will, I think something is okay, it will run smoothly. Okay, so 0, I will tell you what this 0 represents in a minute. So before that, we will see. So same class static variable can be used or printed using the variable name only. Okay, second type. Okay, so we can also use the static variable of the same class using class name dot variable name. So here I have used the static variable using only my variable name, whereas if you want you can use this way also, my variable program dot static variable. What I did, think I have. Okay, so static variable of same class can be used or printed using variable name only, or it can be printed using class name dot variable name. Okay, so these are the two ways how we can use the static variable of same class. Okay, there are two zeros now. Okay, so we have a program called my second program, and for example, here I am having string. What string we can declare? Okay, class name equal to my second program. So here I have a static variable which is class name. Class name is my static variable which is of type string. So what is the rule if you want to declare, if you want to initialize a static variable, you want to declare it outside of a method with a keyword static. So I have a static variable in my second program, and I need to use that static variable in my variable program. So these two are different programs. So the variable is in this class, whereas there is no relationship between these two classes. So I need to use my static variable which I have declared in my second program in my variable program. So how can we use? So these two are different class, static variable of different class. So there is only one way to print static variable of different class, that is nothing but class name dot variable name. My second program dot see my second, if I, the moment I press enter, I got three things. One is method, one is class, that is class package name, and it is a what class name, this is a variable. So you can declare class static variable of different class, we can use static variable of different class using a syntax class name dot variable name. If I run this, see it's get printed here. So that is the two ways how you use if a static variable is in same class, if it is in a different class, how you can print or use a static variable. Okay, cool. Now let us go back to the rules. So static variables accepts default values. What it is saying, static variables accepts default values. Okay, so in local variable there is a rule like before using the local variable you should initialize your local variable, but whereas if you are going for a static variable it will accept default values. That's why when we haven't initialized this static variable it prints 0, that is the default value for int static value, that is nothing but char. Okay, static string value, static float value, static boolean value. Okay, so I need to print all these things here. C value, S value, F value, B value. C value, S value, value, and one more thing is like value. Okay, see, this is this empty space is for C value. So for for character, default value is empty space. For string it is a null. For boolean it is false. For for float it is 0.0. That's it, guys. These are the two rules in static variables. So in next section we will start with methods, then operators, then logical operations, sorry, conditional statements, then loops, then we have switch, break, continue. These 5 concepts we will see in next session. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.